Good morning everyone. I am Gopi Krishna from Glorious IAS Academy. As UPSC results have come, I want to congratulate all the successful candidates. I want to wish all the best to the future aspirants also, and I want to wish best of luck to the candidates who couldn't clear. As you know, UPSC, it takes some time also, and perseverance is one of the most important quality which is essential to be successful in UPSC. Perseverance is all about how we deal with failure, how quickly we can bounce back. So I wish everyone all the best. So today I want to discuss with you about EVs. You keep reading about EVs. I want to present comprehensively about EVs at one place. So let's get into it. So EVs, it's all over the news. You must be reading about them. And what are the government schemes promoting EVs? As of now, only 5% of the cars are EV cars, and Niti Aayog and Government of India want to promote it to 30% by 2030. It is a very ambitious target, and various government schemes are promoting them, and we will try to see that. And what are the reasons for the popularity of EVs? The environment consciousness is improving, not only in India and worldwide. So therefore, EVs are becoming more and more popular, and this trend is going to rise only. And what are the challenges in the implementation of EVs? Still, there are some doubts, some trust issues, and some challenges in the implementation of the EV by the government, and also the people are not able to take buy EV cars. So the trust issues are there. So how what are the challenges we are going to see, and what is the way forward, and we will also see India-China comparison, how China became a market leader in the EV sector. Almost 60% of the EV vehicles are made in China only. We will see what are the reasons for that. First of all, what is the current status? In 2024, around 1.94 million EVs were sold in India, of which 59% are two-wheelers and 35% are three-wheelers. Only 5% of are cars. So it's very popular in the two-wheeler and three-wheeler sector, but in cars and heavy vehicles, it's yet to catch up. But if you compare China, more than 11 million EVs sold. So it's around the market is close to 10 times more. And the total EVs sold in the world are 17 million. So as you can see, the China share is around 60%. So how China became such a market leader, the world dominant player in the EVs? So one of the reason is this Van Gang. He's considered to be father of China's EV sector. He worked in foreign companies in automobile sector, and later he returned to China. After returning, he convinced Chinese leadership that if we go in the internal combustion engines, he said China can't compete with the world companies like Toyota and Volkswagen, because they are far advanced already. So he convinced the leaders that we have to go in a new sector, like cutting edge technology sector like EVs. So China started investing in EV technology since 2000. So it was a big gamble, but it paid off. So later Van Gang was become Minister of Science and Technology also from 2007 to 2018. So this is one of the advantage of a autocratic setup, communist government setup, because anybody can be made as a minister. And sometimes we will be tempted to think autocratic setup is better than democracy. It is not so. As we all know, like Mao was a supreme leader of the China previously, and during cultural revolution, because of his implementation of the policy, close to 1 crore Chinese have died. So autocratic setup may look better in the short run, but in the long run we don't know how it is going to be. And about Hitler also, we all know he promoted German industry in a big way, and Volkswagen was a very popular car, and he had an important role in that. And also Hitler was Times Person of the Year in 1930s. He was a very he played instrumental role in Germany's industrialization. But later, as we all know, he killed around 60 million Jews directly or indirectly through concentration camps, and countless others in the World War II. He was the reason. So autocrats may look good in the short run, but in the long run they can be very damaging to the country. So democracy is the safest way. It is the journey can be slow and arduous, but it is a sustainable journey. So let's not be let's not compare ourselves with China. So he convinced the Chinese leadership to bypass internal combustion engine and directly invest in the EVs. And his policy formulation was, he championed massive subsidies, and around 29 billion was given from 2009 to 2022, and the 5-year plans he implemented for the EV development. He gave tax cuts, and he pushed the industry to have a EV quota. Like all the big automobile industries, they have to produce certain percentage EV vehicles, so that it become more popular, and research and development has improved, and the better models started coming. And as you know, this is another news item. We are trying to relate it. EU is resisting the influx of Chinese imported EVs. EU, as you all know, Chinese started exporting many EVs there, and so EU went into anti-subsidy investigation into the Chinese company, and it imposed tariffs aimed at protecting the domestic industries, so that there is a level playing field, because the most of the Chinese companies are heavily subsidized by the government, but EU companies are not so. So you cannot compete with the Chinese companies. So EU did this, and China is also trying to adapt it it is strategically trying to relocate the production into Turkey, into Mexico, so that it is trying to say these are not Chinese EV cars, and it is also engaging in negotiations with the EU, and challenging the EU actions at the WTO also, and implementing retaliatory trade measures like various European wines. It is started imposing tariffs. So if you compare India and China, one of the most important component of the EV is a battery, and 40% of the cost is battery, and battery is the most important part. In internal combustion engines, there are 2000 moving parts. In EV vehicles, there are only 20 parts, and the most crucial part is battery only. Once the battery manufacturing is developed, then EV is almost done. So if you see the power capacity, India, it is only 5 gigawatts, but in China we have 900 gigawatts as of now, and by 2030 India is planning to grow it to 100 gigawatts, but China, they will reach 2500 gigawatts. You see the massive gap between India and China as of now. And charging stations, we are having around 10,000 as of now, and China is having 2.1 million as of now. So charging stations is important component of EV ecosystem, because without charging stations, people will be little reluctant to go on a long journeys. By 2030, we want to have around 10 million per year. It's also an ambitious target, but China will reach 25 million by then. So we will see what are the government schemes in the EV sector. So the FAME, you must have heard, faster adaptation and manufacturing of EVs. This is an important scheme of Government of India. It is giving subsidy. We are in FAME 2 now. FAME 1 was from 2015 to 19. In FAME 2 from 2019 to 24. The total outlay is 10,000 crores. It's approximately $1.19 billion. And basically we give subsidy for the EVs and charging infrastructure, and subsidy will be on a kilowatt basis. For example, if you see the Ola scooters, the Ola scooters are sold based on the kilowatt basis, 3 kilowatt hour or 5 kilowatt hour, 4 kilowatt hour. So the subsidy will be 5,000 rupees for kilowatt hour, for example, and there will be maximum ceiling also, let's say 15,000. So for a 3 kilowatt hour we will get 15,000. Directly subsidy will be there. Government will bear the cost so that consumer will get the EV at a lower cost, so that it will become attractive to the consumer, which is an important factor. But if you see the Chinese subsidy, it is around 14 billion in 2022. So R is around 1.19 billion and China's is around 14 billion. So in subsidy front, China is very aggressive. So PLI scheme, another scheme is a production linked incentive scheme. This is a very popular scheme in manufacturing sector, and economic survey also mentioned about this scheme. In some sectors it is very successful. But I want to give one point to the students. This is a production linked incentive scheme. It is different from the earlier incentive schemes. The earlier incentive schemes are input related schemes. Meaning to set up the industry, they will government give subsidy on the capital goods. But the problem with that input subsidy is we don't know whether industry will be set up, how much production will come. So, but in the PLI scheme, which is a production linked incentive, based on the production, government will give incentive. So the advantage is the industry is already producing the goods. It means it has set up the industry. So a lot of investment has been done, and obviously some labor must be involved. So employment generation is also there, and once a production is being promoted through the incentives, it will lead to export competitiveness, and also we can compete at an international level, which will promote efficiency. So this is a key difference of earlier subsidy schemes and PLI scheme. The total outlay is around 25,938 crore for advanced chemistry cell battery. So what does advanced mean? Advanced means the rechargeable battery is using advanced electrochemical like lithium ion and sodium ion. That is the advanced chemistry cell battery. So ACC battery has a long life and a high density and fast charging. So this is very popular, but in the battery technology there is always innovation. New technologies are also coming. So another important thing government gave is the GST rate on EVs is slashed from 12% to 5%. If you compare with the internal combustion engines, the GST is 28%. So obviously cost will be less. And GST charging stations, the GST is slashed from 18% to 5%. So now basically on EV vehicles, GST is reduced to 5%, which is very good, which it will promote EV sector. And in the budget provisions of 2025, I'm sure you must have read. So the exemption of import duties on 35 capital goods used in the manufacture of EV batteries and 28 items used in the making of mobile phones is done. Basically, the exemption of import duties is given on the capital goods manufacturing. So Government of India want to promote the battery manufacturing at the domestic level. So as you know, capital goods are different from consumer goods. Consumer goods are directly we consume. Capital goods are the goods which are used for making the other goods like a tractor, crane. These are the capital goods. So through this, Government of India is making the capital goods cheaper, so that the industrialists will import the capital goods and they make batteries indigenously, because as of now we are dependent on China for most of the battery import. So we have tense relationship with China, so it is prone to geopolitical shocks. And battery is 40% of the EV cost. And another mission, national mission on transformative mobility and battery storage is also there. Basically make India global hub in the EV manufacturing, that is the aim of this mission. And local battery production, as we have discussed previously, and R&D in EV and charging infrastructure. The mission is trying to promote that basically, so that EV becomes very popular in India through R&D mechanism and local battery production, and make India global hub in EV manufacturing. And another scheme is PM E-Bus Seva scheme. You must have read in the news recently, it is there, and it is an ongoing scheme because it is being done in a PPP mode. They have floated the tenders, selection is going on, so you will read about in news in coming days also. The target of the scheme is 10,000 buses should be implemented in 169 cities. It is being done in PPP mode. The important way this is different from other models is, here the states will pay the per month per kilometer rate to the company, meaning we don't pay the entire amount of the bus to the company, but we will pay only how much ever, it's like a how much ever kilometers we run, and it is like a rent basis we are paying. So it is very advantageous to the states because there is no capital cost involved, but the companies, the guarantee is given by the government of India. So government of India is taking the risk, and so that the e-buses will be implemented. They are running on the road because there are many advantages, lack of pollution, low noise, as you all know. So but this scheme you will read more in the news because the implementation level is going on. Another component of the EV sector is scrappage policy, because the batteries are leading to a lot of waste, and what to do about the waste, how to manage the waste. So another thing is incentive on the new EVs if old petrol and diesel vehicles are scrapped, so that we are promoting EVs. And another mission is green hydrogen mission. With 19,744 crores, huge amount is allocated for hydrogen fuel cell technology. This is for heavy vehicles, trucks and buses. So as you read the word green hydrogen is different in the sense, because why it is called green? Because the hydrogen is produced through green technologies, that is only through renewable energy sources, not through other sources. So this is hydrogen is produced in a non-polluting way. This is a key component you have to remember.